Well, I'm all ready for a party. Isn't everybody?
Right. Okay. So welcome to the show, and this is a very unusual Blabbing for Britain, episode 307. Okay. Now I have no idea what's going on. I just got the message in my studio, and I've been trying to go live on Facebook just as a test, and I couldn't get that to work. Uh,
Well, I think we're alive too much on Facebook.
well, go on then. Yeah.
Because I can't log in because I've lost my thing, so I
Yeah.
don't know what it takes to get in touch with Be Live to get go on with an email or something now. Because I'm just fed up at FB ruling my life in some sorts of ways. Uh, I'm even scared to speak now. Write something.
You're not alone in that. I mean, you can log into live with a YouTube account if that helps.
Okay, I might look at that then. Yes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so there you go. The thing is, the show must go on. I was quite surprised you didn't go on YouTube right away.
I'm yes, but I was hanging on for bets. See what happened. Um, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're here. All right, what's happening? That's the question.
Well, obviously, for those of you that watch this after, please let us know if you do watch after. Put in after event or something like that. I don't know what you put in, Stephen. But here's the thing: our country is full of hypocrites, and one by one, they're all being found out. Don't do as I do. Do what we tell you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Uh, the timing is so bad because we're about to go into Plan B, and people have got to wear masks or get fined, and because of what's been happening, people just won't do it. Half the people in the country won't wear a mask.
No.
Turn around and they'll say, why should we wear a mask when people in government don't wear a mask?
Yeah. And here's the thing, Stephen. Are we talking about your country or my country?
Probably talking about both.
Well, we've still got a mask mandate.
All right.
Should we still wear masks? You wouldn't think it when you go into the pub, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about this the other day. I've reached the point in my life, I've done 2 jobs, I've had my booster. I
Yeah.
need to live again because, do you know what? I think some people are suffering mentally.
Oh, yes, definitely.
I just worked out, I haven't had a holiday for 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years. I think the last holiday was to Madeira, and it nearly killed me because at the time I was ill, I didn't know it. So that's the position I'm in. And is there someone coming in?
Yeah.
The,
So
whoever it is, you've got an echo with you.
you've got an echo.
Yeah, there's an echo.
Testing.
That's better.
Stephen, Stephen, can you answer, please?
I can hear you, Stephen.
No,
We've got an echo. Have we still got an echo?
it's only since you come in, Stephen.
I'll come in.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, just right. And yes, that's it, Lord. Right, so, but the thing is, there are now seven parties. I wouldn't go and speak, Stephen, see how it is.
How are we?
That's it, yeah. So, this is what I'm watching out for. 7 parties have been discovered now.
Yeah.
We don't know whose parties they are. And I'll bet your bottom dollar they're not all from one side. There will be other people
Yeah.
getting the bottle. And you can't do anything now. There's always a grass amongst you. No matter. And then the other thing we have to find out who went to the party, what journalists went to the party, what journalists kept it quiet and were all snuggy buggy with the politicians. The press and the politicians at times can be too close to one another. It's starting to change. They're getting caught out left, right, and centre. What say you, Stephen Silk?
Yeah, what do you think?
I didn't hear your last scream. Say again.
Right. The topic is, the situation is that with what's going on in Westminster at the moment, with parties taking place whilst everybody else was in lockdown, and now that they're asking for another lockdown, are people going to take any notice?
No, of course they're not. It's the most despicable bunch of lying bastards that we've ever had in government. And I'm talking about the Tories now. Yeah, Pete, I get that there's bad eggs in the Labour Party, but the topic of the day for me is just this complete and utter corruption.
Yeah.
And the terrible thing is that this Partygate is just a distraction. We're talking about it day in, day out. And it's breaking out into the consciousness of the UK, because thanks to Anton Deck on Treasure Island, or whatever it's called. And it's just, it's distracting from what they're doing in the policing bill.
Yeah.
Currently going through. And it's distracting from the investigations into the corruption which we had during the PPE scandal phase, and the sell-off of the NHS. It's a distraction. It's typical Trumpian, Republican playbook stuff.
Can I just say as well, up in Scotland, we've had the SNP as well. Everyone, and I know you don't like a Conservative Party. I'm not happy with.
How did you tell that?
Yeah, well, I'm not happy with any of them. I'm not happy with any of them, because they've all. If you drill deep, you will find that every party, politicians, have broken the rule in some way or another. There was a lady, I think she was a Labour lady, had a mask on, telling I'm scared to go out, things like this. And yet, here's her at it was the Black Awards, and she's standing there in the middle of a lot of folk, next to someone with no mask on.
Yeah. But at the moment, the topic of the conversation is the Conservative corruption. We've had the words cronyism. We've had what other words have we had? Deals for mates, jobs for mates. The elite. It's pure and utter corruption.
Well,
and hold on, Pete. Hold on, mate. It's just. I mean, this thing yesterday when he was in Parliament, he was either completely and utterly incompetent that he didn't know that there were 65 of his people having a party, rocking and rolling, and he either didn't. So he's so incompetent that he didn't know what was going on, or he's so corrupt that it didn't matter to him. And when there was a lady in Parliament on the Labour side yesterday talking about the people that we've lost and how this is an utter despicable description of how they think about politics.
Now, all I'm going to say is I'm not defending them. It would happen in anybody. There is cronyism in every party. You just look at the Lord of Darkness, Mandelson. He got his bread.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go, Pete, because you're not helping me in the debate, mate. I get that you want
a debate or something wrong.
Pardon? I can't get my point out.
Oh, right, I'll tell you what. I'll shut up and I'll just listen to the rest of the show.
I'm not playing, Pete. I'm not playing that game.
Silence, please. We're doing a bit like the House of Commons, which is no good at all. we shouldn't be headed that way. We're all good friends. We should be able to. But at the moment, it's not rational. It is totally irrational. People are doing one thing, saying another, telling us what to do, doing the other thing, and the press are revealing exactly what's going on, and it's just I'm lost for words, really. I'm lost for words. I mean, the people who govern us should be able to. It's just incredible. John, save us.
I've got to take this, I'm afraid. I'll be back in a minute.
You under the sun. Okay. Thursday is delivery day in the Upton. And John takes.
Yeah, it's a day with a Y in it.
Well, yeah, it is. That's true.
So, Steve, I mean, how's the cricket going, mate?
Terribly well. We're down in Australia at the moment, and yesterday was not a good day. I haven't even checked what's happened today. It can't be any worse. Australia probably got about 300 today for one wicket, and yeah, we don't do well when we go to Australia.
It is a fascinating game, isn't it? Actually, and
yeah.
It's all in the mind, much more than football, which is there's a certain mental approach you have to take to it. But Chris, you're out there for what? 4 days, 5 days?
5 days. If things are going according to plan, you're out there for 5 days, from half until o'clock, with breaks for lunch and tea.
Yeah, and tea. I've got to take a call, so I'll be back in a minute.
Oh, this is like.
I normally ignore them, but this was my son, and I know he'd been trying to get hold of me since yesterday.
Right.
Can you put me on pause, Stephen?
I can switch your camera off, switch your microphone off. There we are. It's silent until he raises his hand again. Yeah, I mean, okay, right, okay. And I noticed then, we are going to Germany on the 21st of December, and we're not back to the 6th. So I'm not broadcasting. I'm trying my best not to broadcast. I get my hands slapped if I broadcast. So it's 2 weeks off. Yeah.
It's Christmas.
It is Christmas, yeah.
Will you be allowed in? That's the next question.
Yeah. I think
they're clamping down on everything, left, right, and centre in Germany, aren't they?
It's very complex. Angelica's keeping track of. On the way back, getting there, I think we can get there. Getting back is going to be the fun part, because at the moment, Germany's not on the red list. So we have a test in Germany 2 days before we leave and come back. And then we have a test within 2 days of getting back. Okay. And all of that is going to cost about 150 notes, which adds to the cost of the holiday, of course. And if you get right, and we discovered last week, if you have a positive test on return, then you've got to isolate for 10 days, and you can't travel abroad for 90 days. Now, that's not a problem to the two of us, but that's an added complication. And then, of course, if Germany should go on the red list while we're away, then we have a £2,500 hotel bill, because we've been in a hotel near to the station. So it's complicated.
Are you really wanting to go? Well, I know you want to go.
Angelica's not seen a mum and a brothers and a family for 2.5 years. So okay. Yes. Yeah. As you were saying earlier, I mean, the fact that, I mean, they do Skype calls every Monday, Angelica and the mum, which keeps them in touch. But there's nothing like actually seeing somebody in person. And after 2.5 years, we were talking about mental welfare when we started, Peter. I think it is a situation you need the contact. Yeah, mentally you need the contact. Okay. I mean,
Well, I've got to say, this is
going.
about one of the only things I look forward to just now. I am starting to get out and about. I go to the pub now. I've done my bit for the nation. I've taken my 2 jabs. I wash my hands. I put on gel. But I look around me, and I'm about the only one that's doing it. I can see the majority that I watch do not even gel their hands anymore.
It's quite interesting you mentioning gelling and mask wearing. I wanted a particular item that I could only buy at Lidl. Yeah, so I went to Lidl at the Swan, which is like the big shopping centre in just south of Birmingham. They hadn't got what I wanted. There was not a soul wearing a mask other than me. And there'd be at least 40 people in there. It's a big store. So I went to the very tiny little Lidl that's in Acock's Green, which is the next area around the south of Birmingham. And everybody, including every member of staff and the security man, because we have to have security men on our Lidls around here, was wearing a mask.
Yeah.
And the difference, Acock's Green is, I guess, the Irish area, if you like, and Yardley is an Asian area. And in the Asian area, nobody's interested. But in what a predominantly Irish type area, everybody was obeying the rules.
That's amazing.
Oh, and they're about 2.5 miles apart. So, you know, we're not talking travelling long distance here.
And have you heard that anybody losing their job yet because they haven't had the vax and they've been told you can't work? You met Andy?
No.
Because it's failing in America because the federal government are kicking it out. Did you know that? It's went to court and the federal government, the judge, federal court, that says, no, you can't do this. You can't deprive people of their livelihood by making them take the vax.
Well, it hasn't become compulsory over here. It is in Austria, and I think it's heading that way in Germany, isn't it?
Well, the thing is, if it comes out, so can they make? Is it got to be an emergency law, or have they got to have a debate before they can make it law? I don't know. Does somebody know?
No.
I think
I've had all 3 of mine, and apart from some discomfort for being stupid enough to have the flu jab in one arm and the booster in the other, I haven't had any issues with it.
No.
We're triple jabbed. Sue had a really rough time after the booster. But
the Pfizer one hit me, Stephen, but the previous 2 didn't.
We both had Moderna this time.
All right.
But I mean, nobody really knows yet. It's too soon to talk about what's it called, the Omicron. It's too soon to say, but the people I've seen on things, shows like Mar and that, he said it could be less deadly. It can definitely spread. Is it another echo on here, or is it me?
No, can't hear you echoing.
Okay.
You sound fine.
What is weird? There's a hope that it's not as deadly, spreads like hell, but the vaccines may well. If it's 3 Pfizers you've had, then it's not an issue apparently, and the vaccine can get rid of the virus. But it's such early days. It's still. And the other thing one guy said was that as it mutates, the virus gets less deadly. So that over time, it could be as not. It could be quite benign, like most flu is, and I do appreciate that 10,000 people die a year from flu. But if it goes the right way, then COVID will mutate itself into a less deadly disease. You'll still get it, like you still get flu, but you won't die of it. You won't even have to be hospitalised, hopefully. But we're on a 4-year, 5-year journey, I think. We're going to get jabbed every 6 months because that's the way that we will get over it or deal with it.
You know, one of the things I've noticed from the beginning, all this information, disinformation, and there's one doctor who came out and said something, right, a while back, and he was ridiculed. He was cancelled. But guess what? What he said has now became fact. And I can't remember what it was. He is now going to be suing people because they hatched them down. Yeah, hatchet, hatchet, hatchet. Don't you dare say that. Now he's going to court because they slandered him. Because he was right. And there's a few of that things happening, you know. So I don't know. It's an information war at the moment as well, or a disinformation war. And I'd love to know all the journalists who went to the party. You will be found.
There's only one thing for sure: we'll never know the truth. The truth will not be.
People mentioned InfoWars and that sort of thing, but what there also is lots and lots of, and Peter and I both watch these people, lots and lots of video broadcasters and vloggers and YouTubers and stuff like that. And I only caught sight on Twitter of this guy and two other people. They're in their mid to late 20s, but my God, they were giving some really hard criticism. So it's not, I'm not saying it's fake news or anything, but it was left based. So me and Peter on each side of the fence, as you know. But I thought, bloody hell, for me, you know, I'm a Guardian reader and I have to occasionally buy my mum the Mail on Sunday and the Mail on Wednesday, and I sort of take it in with radioactive gloves, you know, and there you go, just to have a read and let me know what you think. But
well, I don't know if you know, Stephen, quite a few weeks ago, I stopped buying papers.
Yeah. But you go online, mate. You do go online, don't you?
Yeah, not a lot. I stopped buying the papers because they've all got their own agenda.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Left, right,
And the point is that there are people out there, and you have your tribe, you know, your bubble of people that you listen to, and I have mine.
Yeah.
But I might be wrong, but I am quite a doom scroller on Twitter, I have to say. But I'm sensing that I'm finding out that there's quite a lot of people out there with a view, i.e. an opinion on what's going on, how badly we're being served by the Tories. You, Peter, will see views which said that it's all Corbyn's fault. And you know, you see I sense that the left are getting their act together. I mean, the reshuffle he did, Starmer did, was it this week? Last week? And he brought in some cracking people that you could actually, as a Labour supporter, I thought, oh bloody hell, that could work, and I hope it does. But I'm sensing that there's and getting. I mean, who on earth managed to get Anton to say the things they said the other day? I know that apparently they're Labour Party supporters, so to speak. But my God, what do they have? Is it 10 million, 5 million people watching, and they ripped into Johnson. Now, for my left-leaning heart, that was wonderful. And I'm pretty sure, Stephen, for you libs, it's probably a good thing because it damages the Tories somehow, which has got to be a good thing.
Yeah, when you get when it makes mainstream television and it's a criticism of the Prime Minister, then that's the time when the Tories should be looking and thinking, maybe as far as the populace is concerned, we're suffering this up royally, and we're being seen as a laughing stock. And once a politician becomes a laughing stock, then it's difficult to take them seriously again.
I think people in show business, I think they should keep out of politics, especially on a show. If they want to say it in their own right, they had a platform, right? They had a platform that they can speak their mind. I'll tell you what, they wouldn't have get an opposing view get to say anything, but
yeah, but why? How do you square that with the fact that Johnson appeared on Have I Got News for You for 20 years?
Was he a Prime Minister then?
How about for the last 3 minutes we talk about something other than bloody politics? And
right, on you go, John. On you go. We're waiting.
What colour is going to be the colour of 2022?
Purple is the colour every year.
It's called Very Perry, and it is a shade of purple. According to the Pantone Institute, that's going to be the colour of the year next year.
And what does that mean?
It means that lots of people will probably use it because the Pantone people have told them to.
I've got purple for my party. Look,
You have?
I'm having a party. There's only one coming. It's me.
I just wondered if somebody was going to tie them all to you and you were going to float away, Peter, at the end of the show.
I know what, I've lost 2 stone, might float way up in the air. All I've done is buy clothes just recently. I've just lost so much weight.
And have you been on your bike in the last few days?
I was out last week because I had to, because I was a leader. Had to turn up. And it was absolutely freezing and we got soaked. So we had a shorter journey than usual. And but it's quite funny because I'm a leader and I keep saying to people, look, we need more leaders. I turned up and I said that, and this woman said, why don't you do this? I said, smashing. Do it when you're a leader. Yes, become a leader and make decisions like that. It just shuts them up because they want to become a leader. Great. I says, this is my run. It's the way I'm doing it. We'll have no debates of it. We're going this way. End of story. Carry on. Tally ho.
So you're a dictator at heart, then?
Yes, when I'm a dictator, and there's no point of having a debate about it. You've made your decision. Because they don't actually like cycling in the city, my lot, most of them. They like to get and then go into the countryside and the edge of the city. I says, today we're actually going into the city centre and we're going to see what it's like and everything. So there'll be traffic lights and stuff like that. And the group did break up because of traffic lights. It's just a case of, but I know they don't like it. And then the big tall one, he says, could you go faster so we can get warmer? So I done it, and the one at the end says, why have you to go so fast? I says, there you go. And I thought
it was like hiking. You had to put the slowest person at the front.
No, our one goes at the back, but there's a tail end Charlie.
Ah, right.
At the back. And I've got a mirror. In every corner I turn, I look around and see where everybody is. Because I'm a good leader, that's why.
Yes.
And if they get too lame at the back, I shoot them.
Right. Okay.
That's a joke.
Right, picking up on Peter's phrase, a shorter journey than usual. Today's broadcast has been shorter than usual, but it did take place. John, it's over to you.
Oh, it's over to me. What's the weather like up in Scotland, Peter?
It's a bit it's cold, but it's not raining. No, sorry, Sheila told me the pavements are very icy.
We had sunshine from about 7:30 until about 20 minutes ago, and now it's very grey looking out there. So, same in Wiltshire, weather-wise?
It's sunny but cold.
And Stoke-on-Trent, are you
Sunny.
still got
Sunny.
palm trees and lake on the go?
No, sorry, cloudy, blue sky and sun, and it's dry and cold.
Okay, well, it's going to get greyer, I'm sure of that.
Oh yeah.
So, it's goodbye from him up there in Scotland with the balloons. Goodbye from the green man in Wiltshire. Goodbye from the man below the spider plants in Stoke-on-Trent. And it's goodbye from my wonderful garden, not really mine, here in the West Midlands. Bye.